Good evening, hello. Ooh. Evening, hello, hello, hello. Oh, that's loud. Lewis, how are you, young man? Hope you're right. Seth Rogen's here for you. Happy Easter. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, how are you doing? You alright? You good? I'm looking forward to this. I'm just going to see if he's on. He's not on yet. He'll be on there. Hello, hello, hello. How's you going? How's it going? Turn the glass off. I can't see properly today. I'm good. How are you guys? So, my spiritual journey begins about 8 o'clock. We got a Druzy official on. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what to expect tonight. So, we're going to find out. And come April the 12th, April the 12th, this is coming off. Yay! Are you a Muslim? No, I'm not, Graham Wilson, but thank you anyway. Obviously, guys, when I'm doing... Rach, hope that's okay with you. He's live, is he? At a minute? Oh, okay, cool. There he is. Okay, cool. So I'm going to invite him. So yeah, Rachel, if you could keep an eye out for me. I won't be able to read your comments during the interview, guys. And it's not really, remember, it's just a interview. Okay, let's invite him. Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you and meet you too. How are things going?
Excellent. How's your Easter weekend been so far?
Working.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Working hard.
Oh, working very hard.
Fantastic. I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in, and we're definitely getting started. Is that okay with you? Yeah.
That's
I'm
absolutely
looking forward
fine.
to this. I'm really looking forward to this because I don't know what to expect. Because you are a bit of an unknown quantity to what I know of. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very
One.
very much a closed book, man.
Really? Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this must be quite a big thing for you to do then.
It's something like it goes back for many years, and from where it all started to where it is now, it's like massive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So I'm just waiting for a couple more people. The people over my side are saying you're amazing, which is always lovely to hear.
Oh, bless them. I've
Yeah,
paid
they
them
are.
to say that, by the way.
Oh, I haven't mentioned cash at the minute. None of you have mentioned cash at the minute. Give it one more minute and we'll...
What does B stand for on your cup?
Oh, it's a D. Yeah, it's the wrong way around. Sorry, it's D. Yeah, it's for Dad. Yeah.
Ah, that's cutesy.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, welcome, everybody. Yeah, obviously, guys, please remember this is just Drew's. Is it Drew?
Yeah, Andrew, Drew.
Yeah.
Anything.
So this is Drew's my spiritual journey so far, and please remember he's not doing any readings. He's just come to talk for 45 minutes about his spiritual journey. He's going to do the top 10 of I do and don't believe at the end. I do a top 10, Drew, of I do and don't believe. There's 10 things in the universe that you do and don't believe in. If you do believe, great. If you don't, we want to know why you don't believe and what's your thoughts on it. So we're going to do that at the end. And if you don't mind, there'll be a Q&A. There'll be a Q&A at the end if that's okay with you. But it's not readings, guys. It's just questions for Drew, if he doesn't mind. That's cool.
Fine.
Good.
I love that.
Okay, great. This will be good. So, everybody, welcome to my spiritual journey episode. I'm not even sure anymore what episode we're on. It's just so cool. I'd like to welcome Drew, or Drew's the official as he's known. He's kindly agreed to come and do his spiritual journey today, which is fantastic. Been looking forward to this one. I know you guys have been looking forward to this as well. So welcome, Drew. If you could describe yourself in a sentence in the spiritual world, what would you say you do? I know that's a big ask.
I'm mainly like a reader. I just read my tarot cards, my guidance cards, that type of thing, really.
Okay.
I'm not really like a clairvoyant or anything like that. I don't speak to the dead. I would be scared if someone started talking to me that I couldn't see. So I make that very clear to everybody. Yeah, it's mainly around like tarot readings.
Okay.
So I'm just going to move me incense sticks. It's blowing in my face and giving me the cough.
Yeah, no problem. Evelyn. So, Drew, take me back. So I always like to dig into, is there any family history of spiritualism in your family before you were born, or anybody in your family who's spiritual?
Not really. The thing is, I've got a very religious family, very much so, but not spiritually. It happened, like if I take it to the start of the journey, it happened in 2003. Ultimately, so back then my brother got killed in a car accident, tragically.
Oh, bless you.
And that's when sort of my family sort of got deeper into religion, like my mum and stuff got deeper into religion. I went the opposite way. So I went to a point where I wasn't a believer. Like, why would God ever do anything like this? You know what I mean? So I was massively against anything. So that's where it all started, really.
So because of your brother, this is where it started your journey to Soar. So after that, where did you start looking? What was the first thing you looked at in your journey? Do you remember what that was?
So the first thing was, my mum used to go to spiritualist churches to sort of hear from my brother. And I used to go every now and then, and there'd be some person standing on a podium, picking people out of a congregation type thing. And there's a few things that got absolutely bang on. There was no sort of question about it. Others were a little bit vague, you know what I mean? The usual stuff. But a lot of times they were sort of helpful to my mum, and it was sort of her therapy. But I wasn't sort of getting anything from that, in all honesty. So I went down more the tarot route, and I got my first set of tarot cards really when I was 15.
Right. So did you when you see people working in spiritual churches and things like that, so what's your opinion on, is it the devil's in the detail for you? If you're a spiritist and you're a medium, is it the devil's in the detail for you? Is it about the exact things? Okay.
It's around, like, so there's things that I have, and there's things that I sort of want. And I think that's what we all want. That we all want that extra thing, you know what I mean? Even us, we always want that extra something to go, right, that's concrete now. And for me, I've only ever had that once. But when I was like 14, 15, because I was set against everything, I sort of closed myself off to quite a lot. So I used the cards as a bit of like therapy for me, and I used them to help me. And I learned from a really good medium, actually, that helped me through, and that was Sandria Mossis. She helped me through a lot.
So we'll take you back to the part where you said, what point did you think to yourself, I'm going to buy a tarot deck? And which tarot deck did you buy? And do you remember where you bought it from?
I've got, so there's
You've got it, one.
I've got them. I've got everything. I've got everything in front of me. So these are my tarot cards.
And these are your original ones?
Yeah, these are called the tarot, the classic tarot deck. So these are my original ones.
And this is the one you learned to read with?
Yeah.
Wow. And I saw a TikTok. They're in a box, aren't they? They live in a box, don't they?
They live in a box.
That's the one. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the TikTok of the box.
Yeah. So what I was told, and what the sort of they asked me to do was, so they said get rid of the book. So I was like, okay, and so I threw that to one side. And they said to me, because every single tarot reader reads completely different, they said you need to learn and understand the tarot yourself. So they said this card could mean something to this person that wrote this book, but it's got to mean something completely different to you. And that's what I had to do. I had to learn the cards and learn my own sort of meaning to each individual card, as we do as tarot readers. And she said, but as long as you are guided by the book. So I bought a different book, which is in my cupboard. 2 seconds, I'll get that book for you.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
It was in here. where I put that. Well, I did have a book.
That's all right.
It was by Alice Grind, and
Alice
she
Grind,
was
yeah.
like, in the first sort of pages of her book, it says just the way you read is the way you develop, and the way you see the cards. So that's what I took really, and from then it was about. I was reading for myself, like so I used it as a lot of therapy to help me. It wasn't about speaking to my brother. It wasn't about speaking to them. It was all about what I can do and how I can help myself. And that's what it was really, and it did help me a great deal, to be fair.
So when you were doing your therapy and reading the cards, did what you were giving to yourself resonate with you? When the cards that were coming out, did you understand them, what they were meant for you, and to help you?
The only way I can describe it is looking back at it now. I wanted the cards to mean something to me. So I would make them fit to every single thing that I sort of was asking at the time. And it wasn't until like the lady actually sat down with me and spoke to me, and she gave me a reading. She said, maybe you shouldn't be reading for yourself, you should be reading for others. And that's sort of when that's when it all turned, the tide sort of turned, and I was 22 at that point.
So what made you go get a reading from this lady in the first place? What was the decision you thought, I'm going to go get a reading from this lady? What was the decision on that?
I've known her for years, to be fair. Years and years. I've known her since I was like 16.
Yeah.
And it's funny, actually. So I used to run my own hairdressing salon many, many years ago. And she rented a room off me, which was quite exciting. So I used to do her hair for free. She used to rent a room off me, and we used to just sit down. She'd do me a reading, and that's how she sort of paid me, and she sort of helped me through quite a lot of stuff, to be fair.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was.
Do you think it's so? So do you believe that sometimes things are meant to happen? Like people are drawn together for a reason. Do you think that?
Yeah, I do think that things happen for a reason. I think that people are drawn, and I feel like people, like I meet people and I meet them for a reason.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always sort of saw life and stuff. I do feel like, I don't think it's sort of fate, but I do feel like that we do meet people for a reason.
So obviously we're up to the part in your career where you're just learning to read tarot differently, and you've had the advice from medium. To take you back, when you were younger, did you believe in anything paranormal at all?
Not really. I wasn't around it, so a lot of the time, when it come down to like for instance, when I was younger, I'd be scared. I'd be scared to go in a room or something because I'd always feel like there was something in there. But I feel like everyone gets that. Like every child gets that sort of worry and anxiety around that. So no, I didn't, and it was only up until a point where something traumatic happened that made me feel like I need to go and do something and help other people with it as well.
Yeah. So as you said in your bio, but it's about giving guidance and helping people. Mm-hmm. So from that from getting some more learning from your medium friend, where did that take you? Do you remember the first reading you ever gave somebody that actually stood out for you?
Yeah. So when I was hairdressing, I used to speak to people quite a lot and quite openly, and then there'd be things I'd be saying to them, and they'd be like, "What are you saying that for? What are you saying? Like I can't get over you're sort of reading me as you're doing my hair." So yeah, it used to be very. It was good, but it's one of them, isn't it? I don't believe you can turn off your intuition. I believe it's always there.
Yeah.
I believe it's always there. You just control it. So when you're talking to somebody, if someone's upset, you can sort of read them and say, right, I feel like you're upset because of X, Y, and Z. Something's happened in your life that's sort of taking control at this moment in time, and sort of working them through that to get to a sort of point where we are then helping other people. So I think a lot of the time it's I think a lot of the time it's difficult because it's a very powerful thing that we hold. You know what I mean? It's very that we sort of believe in, and I do feel at times people can take that as gospel. So it's
Yeah,
around
yeah,
us understanding that and actually understanding that people will take what we say um, as gospel.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so while you're doing people's hair, would you say you're empathic? Do you pick on people's emotions? Do you pick up people's emotions in your
Yeah,
readings as well?
I think that's one thing that happens quite a lot. It's very much when I'm reading somebody, it's very much around who they are. So it's what they're presenting at that time. So as
Yeah,
humans, anyway, we can sort of judge whether someone's upset, someone's happy, someone's in
yeah,
a state of shock or whatever. We can sort of determine that. You don't have to be
yeah,
any sort of psychic or anything to pick up
yeah,
on that. But it's
yeah,
about how you delve deeper into that. And when you start opening that context and opening those conversations up, that's when you can start being in tuned more.
yeah.
And that's what
It
was
sounds to
happening,
me,
really.
yeah, it sounds to me that it was really important for you when you're doing readings to connect with the person you're reading on the different level. Because
Yeah.
what would be the point of doing it? Because it sounds like to me that you really care about your readings and who you're reading from. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not saying anybody, loads of people do it differently in this spiritual TikTok world, but it just sounds to me like you really care about what you're doing to help guide that
Definitely.
person on.
Definitely.
So you did your first reading and things like that. So did it just then go from? Did it just how did you progress further?
So a lot of things have happened like since then. So I didn't pick up my tarot cards for got a few years.
Really?
I was still very much in tune. I was still very much talking to people and helping people
Yeah.
through things. But there was a time when I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put them away. And because I was in a
Oh,
different
right.
career, I changed my career. I wasn't directly
Yeah.
working with people that I didn't really know. There's
Yeah.
times when I have worked with people and I've sort of spoke to them and given them readings and stuff. But like
Yeah.
that was more intuition readings rather than getting the cards out.
Yeah.
So a lot of mine was put on a back burner, and it was only until it was a few years ago actually when someone asked if I've got any tarot cards, and I was like, yeah, I've got some.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
actually my mate, because she's got her own. And she was like, "Oh, I've got mine," and she got hers. I didn't know actually that she had tarot cards, and then I took mine over, and she asked me if she could touch my cards. I was like, "You're not touching my cards; they're mine. Like, move your hand away from my cards because that's not happening. No one touches my
No.
cards. Move."
Yeah. And you've always used the same deck. You've not changed decks. You've always the same ones out tarot deck.
Always the same.
Yeah.
I've got some oracle cards that I use and stuff, but
Yeah.
my tarot.
Yeah.
I've got another set of tarot cards that are here that I don't really connect with them, so there's no point me using them.
Yeah.
So I use my main ones.
Looking at the first deck you got, the tarot cards. If you look at the pictures and the definition, that's a hard tarot deck to start off with, to read them and connect with them. So really, you put yourself in a not in a difficult position. You put yourself in a harder situation to learn tarot with a real difficult set of cards. But hey, you did it, and that's what I mean. It must have been. Do you find it's harder to read? Was it harder for you to read those cards, the first ones you got, then, or it just took time to develop?
It took time to develop them, and time to develop the meanings and how I sort of felt when I was looking at the cards and stuff. With the generalized sort of message that the book sort of gives. So it was difficult, but we got there in the end. You know what I mean? It's sort of. I find them difficult to read over TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I do find them very difficult. So I feel like you need to have that two-way sort of conversation when you're doing those type of readings. And I don't feel like I get very sort of much out of them because the energy is not there, and it's something that I find quite difficult at times. So
if you're doing a reading with somebody, so would you use the Celtic cross? What's the normal way you do it? Or do you have a specific way you read the cards for somebody? Do you do the Celtic cross, or do you do something completely different?
I do like a 12-card spread, so it's usually 2 cards in the middle, 4 around it, and then 5 up the side.
Right. Okay. And do you find that works the best in some respects?
And that works the best. I sometimes get I do 3-card reading. I'll read 3 cards, then I'll pick another 3 cards, and I'll do it that way. It all depends, really. I need to know, or I need to sit down and speak to somebody and feel which sort of way I'm going to read it. On TikTok, I usually do the 3, pick 3 cards, read them 3, then read another 3, then read another 3. But usually, for me, I think it's one of them, isn't it? I can read. I can do a spread and set them all out however way I want. I could put them in a circle that you would still have the same outcome.
Yeah, yeah,
regardless.
yeah. And so you start doing readings, and did you take that? So was that a pastime for you? Was it a full-time thing? How did it progress further for you?
It was a pastime, very much pastime. Still is very much pastime. I don't do it as a sort of career. It's not my career. It's something that sort of I enjoy doing. I really enjoy giving readings. I really enjoy helping people. I really enjoy being that therapeutic person to somebody that needs help at this sort of time. So it is, for me, I don't do it for the money. I made that very clear. I don't do anything for the money. And I just really enjoy helping others. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, and so let me ask you this question, because everybody has a different opinion about tarot, and I want to get yours on it. Some people say that tarot cards should not be used because they can bring entities or spirits in which are bad. And what's your opinion on that? What's your feeling on it?
What, the tarot can bring bad spirits in?
Yeah, they said people, because some people I've interviewed have said that they won't use tarot cards because they feel it could be bad spirits in, it can bring negative energies in. What's your, because I mean, you've done tarot for a good few years now. What's your opinion on it? How do you see it? Because I don't have a problem with it.
Do I believe in bad spirits? Do I believe that in demons and stuff? I completely don't. I can't lie.
Yeah, that's right.
It's purely based on every time I've read, I've had no negativity. I'm very much a straight-laced type of person anyway. I will tell people straight, and please all offend, it just falls out my face, and I do exactly the same in my readings. That's just the way I am. And I've never had anything bad through.
No.
Ever.
Because I mean, tarot's been around for a long time. Yeah.
Pardon?
I mean, tarot's been around for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like it just sprang up out of nowhere. It's been around for centuries, more than oracle cards in some respects. I mean, they are the original oracle cards in some respects. Yeah, because I don't know if it's spiritualist mediums think that, but they said, oh, it's bad, you shouldn't use them. But I've used tarot before, and I've still got a deck of tarot cards, my first one that I have. I'm not going to fay with them, but definitely. So going on from tarot, so you do a lot of tarot, you do oracle cards. Now I've seen on your TikTok, because I did a deep delve into your TikTok. There's a lot of TikToks there. So I sort of went right back to the beginning, and all through, and I'm thinking, is it the same person? Because all your TikToks, there was some really funny one. I laughed my head off some of your funnies. There's only a couple in there around tarot, and you've got one. You're using a Moonology deck, aren't you? Is that your oracle deck that you use now? What oracle decks do you use?
I've got a ton. Some of them I don't even relate to.
Yeah.
So if I should show you,
thank you.
Things like they're just. These are I love these ones, so I do usually use these ones. The angels, gods, and goddesses ones.
Oh, okay.
I've had them for a few years now.
Yeah.
Pardon?
So that's a good deck to use.
Yeah. For me, that's what I use.
Yeah.
Things like I don't get anything from these. A lot of these were waste of money.
Yeah.
I don't get anything from these ones. These are fairly new. I've not really had anything from them. So it all depends. I've had these, the woven wisdom ones. There's a few. I've also got the oracle book.
Yeah.
My phone keeps going off, and that's why I keep pressing things.
That's all right, no problem. Don't worry. So do you always go back to your tarot?
Mainly.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I was always taught from Sandria, she's an absolutely brilliant medium. She said to me, tarot should only be 5% card, 95% should be your intuition and how you read. Is what she said to me. So I was like, okay, then I can deal with that. We can sort of open up. And she's the one that sat me down and she went through each and every card, and then she'd show me how she read, and it really worked. To be fair, that works for me.
Did it give you a very different perspective?
Yeah. Because when you think of tarot cards, you think, oh my God, you're going to tell me where I'm going to be in 10 years' time. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's about the here and now and what you need to change to actually make your future better. It's not, you're not going to be told if you're going to have like £1 million in the bank, you know what I mean? And a lot of people think that that's not the case. So my intuition usually tells if someone's had some bad past experiences, where they are now and what they need to do to move themselves forward.
So what things, because everybody works tarot differently. Then there is people have their own set of rules how they work with tarot. What don't you tell people? Is it because some people say you've got to give people the good and some of the bad because that's just life. That's realistic. What's your rules around tarot when you're doing it?
See, now I've been stung on TikTok for this.
Have you really?
When it comes down to me, I've been stung on TikTok quite a lot for being giving too much, especially when I've got X amount of people in the live. And I've had people message me saying, "I wish you hadn't said that. Thank you for the reading, spot on, but I wish you hadn't said that." And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
Really, but you can't help it, can you?
You can't. Sometimes it's like verbal diarrhea with me. It just falls out my face, and I just say things. But the one thing I do now is very much keep it very much low key, purely based on the sort of feedback I've had from people when they do say, "I wish you hadn't said that. I wish that you would have come to me after and messaged me that." And it's mainly around things like, you know, if someone's had a really bad past and stuff, and the sort of where they are now, them still dealing with it and how they can't move, they're literally just stuck, and it's just giving them advice on how to move forward. But the one thing the things that I've sort of delved into before have been a bit too much for the people that I've read for, and they have come to me and said, "You shouldn't have said that."
So is that you doing a live and just people on it, and it's a free reading, or is it a paid reading? Is it
free?
So if it's free, now I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. Obviously, you use your intuition because you have to. That's how you read, and that's what you're reading. If somebody wanted a free reading on live, I mean, if you're going to tell them what they don't want to hear, that's not your fault. They've asked you to give you. That's my opinion. I know people might differ with that watching this, but if somebody's reading and you tell them the truth of what the matter is, you can't help that, I don't think.
There's times when I tell people to go and, you know, do one in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Why would you not? Why would you put yourself on a platform when you're live and then not be happy with what you're told? That's crap bonkers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, I can see. So if you oh my God, that's I was quite not amazed at that. But I was just thinking, yeah, it's not like you can control what you're saying because it happens like that. So what is your way of reading? What is your way of reading then? Describe it.
I literally just, honestly, I speak my mind, and if it's in my head, like say it's falling out my face, I've got a potty mouth galore, like I'm literally trying to hold back so much here, but literally,
it's all right.
Say again.
It's fine, don't worry. If you got, it's fine, Drew. Don't worry about it.
If someone's being a dick, I'll tell them that they're being a dick. You know what I mean? That's the way. That's how I work. Yeah. If someone has had a really crap past, I'm going to say to them, "You've had a." But a lot of things, I felt when you do a reading, a lot of I think it grows as you. I don't do cold drinks, so I won't just blurt everything out. What I'll do is I'll give people a reading, and then I want a response. I want that two-way communication. So if I'm reading somebody, you need to come to me and speak to me, because that's what it is. It's that two-way of communication. Because how do I know that I'm not just spurting a load of crap to them? You know what I mean? They need to come and speak to me, and then I can actually then progress the reading forward. And that's what happens face to face. It sort of progresses. And when you get something right as well, I'm quite humble. You know, I'm like, "What? Pardon? Is that right?" You know what I mean? And sort of get shocked. So I feel like that's what we need to be doing as readers is we don't know what we're saying is right. So when we write on something, I do feel like we should be a bit shocked, you know what I mean? When we're actually helping somebody, let's not just be like, "Yeah, I knew that because I'm psychic." You know what I mean? It just needs to be.
Right. So the whole, So do you find, so like with me, I use my cards, and I'm starting my career. I do Reiki and all that sort of thing. But for you, when you first started doing readings, and you're getting like these, do you get images in your third eye? Do you see images of what you need to tell people, or is it how do you see it?
It's a feeling and a sense for me. So I'll always say I'm feeling something. I'm sensing this.
Yeah.
I don't really see images or anything like that. My brain's too
Yeah.
scattered for that. I ain't gonna lie. My brain's all over the place all of the time. So completely different. If I'm feeling like someone's had a shit past, I will tell them. And if I feel like if someone's been spoilt, I'll tell them you've been spoilt and you need to be happy with what you had. Stop being greedy. You know what I mean? So I will.
So it's a very frank and honest reading. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But as you're saying, that's the way it should be anyway, because you can't. What's the word I'm looking for? You can't just go over somebody's reading and say, "Oh yeah, it's all perfectly fine." I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's really good to hear, because you being that honest part of you is brilliant. So you do your tarot card reading. Now, also when we spoke on Messenger, you said you've had a lot of paranormal experiences as well.
Mm-hmm.
So have you got a good story for us about an encounter, and how did that happen? What happens? Is it an investigation you've been on, or what?
I've been on a few investigations. Some of them that were absolutely poor, and I was like, "This is ridiculous," and I begged for my money back, but they wouldn't give me it back. It was ridiculous. I went to Dudley Castle. That was good. It was good at the end when we did some glass moving. Now, I'm not a believer in like glass moving or like Ouija boards and stuff. I just think it's someone else pushing the glass. That's the cynic in me. That's the cynic in me.
That's your opinion.
Yeah. And we was doing some glass movement. There was me and 4 others at the time. We were doing some glass movement, but the glass kept coming to me. And I was like, someone's moving this pissing glass. Stop moving. So I was going up the wall as I am, because that's me, like literally flying off the handles as I do. Someone's moving that glass to me. Someone's doing me head in now. So I moved away from the glass, and the glass started moving on its own, and that's the truth. The glass moved across the table on its own. It was strange. So we had to go back and we did some more glass movement. Pardon?
Did you change your opinion of what you saw?
I did change my opinion, definitely. It was more like when it kept coming to me, I was like, "What the hell is it coming to me for?" So then I asked, there was a yes and no on the table, and I asked, "Is it my brother?" And it went to yes. So I broke down in tears, obviously, because it was like quite a shock for me. And I was only like, what? I can't remember how old I was, but I was young. And literally from then it just sort of grew, like that sort of energy just got massive, and the glass just didn't stop moving. It was ridiculous. And we felt the energy around that. I've also been to Smethwick swimming baths. Now, I have been funny, right? At the bottom of Smethwick swimming baths, it's like tunnels, like bad. Here's me. I was down the tunnels with my mates, and Philip Solomon was there. He got us in a circle, started protecting us, and he went, "Right, you need to step out the circle," pointed to me. "You've got somebody around you that's quite strong that's protecting you," and he's literally stopping everybody else. I was like, "Mate, I'd wear a condom if I was having sex, so you better come and protect me." You know what I mean? I was like, "You need to practice. You got to protect me as well." And he was like, "Nah, you need to stop. You need to step out the circle." So I stepped out the way of the circle, and it was just bizarre, because then I heard him say the name Simon. Now, Simon's my brother's name. And then the end, after, I spoke to him and said, "Oh, you said my brother's name. Can you?" He went, "I didn't say anyone's name." I went, "You did." And it turned out that he didn't. So I asked my friends, and he didn't say my name. And it was just something that I heard. It was bizarre. Bizarre.
That is bizarre, isn't it? And do you still feel your brothers around you all the time?
All the time.
Yeah. And so, do you work with spirit guides?
I'll tell you the truth. I've had a few people tell me about spirit guides and stuff, and tell me about mine. Yeah. I had someone named Rashid once, apparently, and I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then another person told me that it was a woman. I was like, "Okay, then so they've changed, clearly."
Right.
So for me, I don't really work with them. I believe in them, but I don't know who one is. I don't really work with them. it's one of them. It's one of them. I usually speak to my brother. If something's happening, I'll speak to my brother. So I usually use him as my guide.
Yeah. So Paige, you know Paige, don't you?
Mhm.
So Paige was the person who said to me, "Oh, you need to get Drew on to have a chat with him." And she said, because she said to me one day, I think she was on live, and she requested you, and you were like, and I think she said she was about reading cards and things like that, and you went, "Well, go on then." Is that what happened with Paige? Is that how would you encourage people who want to be card readers? First of all, how would you encourage them? What's your top 3 tips for tarot? So how would you encourage them, first of all? Are you a proper deep end person? If you're going to swim, I'm going to throw you in and you'll learn to swim or you won't.
Absolutely. But
right.
Not like I think everyone needs to be thrown in the deep end. I think that's just the way it is. I don't feel like, for me, I think there's massive added extras to spiritualism. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of added nonsense to it that I don't always believe in. So I do say to people, use your intuition. If you're feeling something, you feel like something needs to be said, just say it. I've had people on my lives before who I've just been reading and I've said to them, are you feeling anything from this person? You know what I mean? And then they'll say, X, Y, and Z. And then someone will come in and say, yeah, that's correct, or no, that's not right at this moment in time. When it comes down to card readings, I always say, I think everyone should have a pack of tarot, regardless. Because I think them, like I said, the original type of way to speak to whatever, and they've helped a lot of people in the past. So I do think that everyone should have some cards, but be guided by somebody. I had a book which I've lost, but I've got a book by Alice Grind, and oh, it's here actually. I found it. It's here. So the Book of Tarot. Alice Grist, and that helped me quite a lot. That helped me sort of progress into being able to read tarot. But taking her guidance through the book and then Sandria's as well helped me develop. So I think you always should have somebody around you to help and develop you, but trust your intuition. If you're not trusting your intuition and you're not trusting how you're feeling and what you're going to say, then that's not going to sort of help you. You need to sort of make the mistakes before you sort of can sort of own your own type of thing. So I do think that people should be thrown in the deep end.
So do you think everybody's capable of doing it?
I think everyone's got the abilities. I think everyone's got the ability. Everyone's been there, and we can ask everyone in my life and everyone in your life. When you've not spoken to somebody on the phone for such a long time, and then all of a sudden you think about them and you get that phone call, everyone's had it. That sort of intuition, that sort of instinct that something's going to happen. Everyone has that. Things like dreams. Some people have dreams, and then that dream will then come true, or it'll be like a deja vu situation that you've dreamt. A lot of people have had that, so I do think that everyone's got it, but it's how people manifest it. Some people just block it off and they don't want anything to do with it. Some people embrace it, and some people develop their own way.
So what would be your top 3 tips for learning tarot? What would be your What would be your third tip?
My first tip would probably be go to a spiritualist church and get to know people that are in the field. Especially like obviously on TikTok, a lot of people from London, Australia, America. So go to someone that you can go to a place where you can go and start talking. Sit in circle or something. I've never done it, but a lot of people want to do that. Go and do that. You know what I mean? Secondly, get yourself a classic tarot deck. It's difficult, but you can get there. And thirdly, just trust what you're saying. Trust who you are. Because I think that's a lot of the issues that people face is they don't trust their own intuition. They don't trust what they're saying. So they will sort of, like me, they'll just block verbal diarrhea, like saying, it'll just fall out my face. But then when it's when you get it right, it's like, oh my God, I got that right. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be. So when people are first starting out, just be humbled with it. Just allow yourself to freely talk. If you get it wrong, you got it wrong. You know, take it back. You know what I mean? It'll be right for somebody, but just take it back.
And because obviously some people say you can have that intuition. I'm sure you must have experienced it, where you can go, but this is, and they go, well, I don't know what you mean. That's totally wrong. But it is meant for them, isn't it? It just they have to understand that it's present, but it must mean for them, because you wouldn't say it otherwise, would you?
No.
No,
Absolutely.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I do think as well,
Yeah.
like for me, if I say something, like I'll say something on here, and they'll be like, "No, that's not for me," and then they'll say something after, and I'll be like, "But you've just said no to that." So what are you giving up?
Right.
Come on. And that really pisses me off. I'm not gonna...
So obviously you must have a lot of people come on your live when you're doing reading. So how do you choose that person? Is it a feeling, or do you just do it? I'm obviously, because I was leading on from that. How do you find someone live to read, and does it affect your energy? Do you get like proper knackered at times because of the amount of readings you're doing?
I've always said this. I've never really got tired. It's something that I've never sort of experienced. My voice gets tired because I'm talking a lot, and my voice gets quite dry, so I have to have a drink and what have you. But no, I've never get tired. The one thing that I do, I do usually is I'll just pick somebody. I've seen you read before, and you'll just be looking, and then you'll just pick somebody. I'm exactly the same.
Have you seen me read before?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh no, pressure.
Yeah. But like, I'll just pick somebody at random, and then it'll just open that sort of context, open that sort of communication. I'd like to say, and I've got to say, I don't feel like I'm on my own with this. I think every sort of tarot reader on here, it's difficult to read on TikTok. You've not got that two-way communication. I did a reading duel with two sisters the other week, and that was phenomenal. I couldn't have read them both so differently. Like, it was completely bonkers. And they come back to me and they were gobsmacked on what was said. And I just said to them, I can't believe I was so right on it. You know, because I feel like that's what we need to be. We need to be quite humbled in what we're saying to people. But yeah, absolutely. For me, it is difficult to read on TikTok. But when we're doing them, it's about not letting our energy fall, because once that energy starts falling, we need to sort of cut it off. And that's something that I've, it's a fine line. It's something that I've sort of challenged myself with a bit, to be fair.
Yeah, it still sounds even today that when you get it right, you're like, yeah, I got that right. Does that still, you still get that same feeling of for the very first time when you got something right, you're still like, yeah, I got that right. Do you doubt yourself? Do you ever doubt what you're saying, or
absolutely,
you know, to the person because it makes no sense sometimes?
I think for me, the people that don't doubt themselves and the people that, I think you've got two types of people. Now, I've been around spiritualism for a few years now, as you know, and there's a lot of people that stand on that podium and they will argue that black is white, but you're still saying no, and they're still saying no, this is definitely for you, and you're like that, no, this is absolutely not for me. And they're trying to convince you that this reading's for them, for you. And I think to myself, let's be a little bit humbled here. Let's just go, you know what, and I do still get shocked when you get things right, when you get things so right, it is just still shocked. And I think that's the way it should be.
I totally agree with you, because I'll just quickly, I don't normally read messages, but Charlotte's it. She said he had to guess Italian for reading. When you did a reading for Charlotte, and you had to guess about Italian for her reading, he did it for me. So he said that you, obviously, because I know that Charlotte had a reading for me, and she had an Italian gran or something like that. And she was still speaking Italian, I could understand her. And Charlotte's saying you did a reading for her, and it was Italian as well. So there must be, do you know what I mean? If two readers are getting the same thing, it's nice to hear that. But I'm totally like you. When I did a reading the other day, somebody said about fish. I said, oh, this person doesn't like fish at all. And it was her surname. But I still question myself when that's the most ridiculous thing to ever say in the world, because I know, how can that possibly be right and be nonsense? But you're right, it is good when you feel that, because do you feel that some readers, and everybody works differently, and I like to get honest opinions. Do you think some readers are overconfident in what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some people, and this is not me berating against any reader.
No.
There's a lot of readers that I've seen, like even in person, there's a lot of readers that I've seen that are like, oh, I'm psychic, you know, and you're like that. Let's not believe our own hype. When we get it right and when we're helping somebody, that is what we're doing, and that is all we're doing. We are somebody's therapy. Someone is offloading onto us. Someone is entrusting us to actually help them. Why then am I going to turn around to someone and say, actually, it's because I'm psychic and I know everything and I know best. That's not acceptable, in my opinion. So I do absolutely think that us being shocked helps other people.
Yeah. Do you think it is the devil's in the detail as well?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't, not necessarily, because something that's not detailed to me or anybody else listening, but it's very detailed to someone that you're giving that reading to.
Yeah.
That then is that speaks volumes. That speaks masses of volumes.
Yeah, because you're still, like you said, every time I do it, I'm still shocked and happy that I got that right for that person, and it validates what you're doing, because I'm still even amazed now about what you can pick up from people, which is so. You on your readings now, do you do private readings now as well?
I used to. I don't work where I work full time, and it's really busy, so I don't do them. I have done, and I do them. With COVID being about no. So this sort of keeps my hand in it a bit, doing it through TikTok. But I did put them on the back burner a little bit. But I've started opening up a bit more. I've given a few private readings on FaceTime or whatever. And they've been absolutely amazing, to be fair. Like the readings have been, and it's that, like I say, it's that two-way communication. I don't delve into the clairvoyancy side of it, because I know that that's not. A lot of people have said to me, "You could do more. You could speak to people that have passed on."
I was going to ask you that.
And I'm like, actually, I know my own abilities and know where my line is, and my line stops at me helping people through tarot and oracle. It doesn't. I don't need to be speaking to no dead person.
Yeah. Is that? Did you think you could do it? Or you choose not to?
I've had things happen, but I choose not to. I don't want to delve into that sort of side of things.
Yeah. Can I just ask you why? If you don't mind answering.
There's probably two things that I could say. One, I'm probably a bit scared of speaking to somebody that I can't see. And secondly, I'm probably scared for it not to actually be real. I see. The other side of it, and purely based on. So for me, a lot of people say, and I've said this to actually I said this to Sandria before. She was giving me a read, and I said to her, "I need you to be a little bit more specific, Bab." And she went, "What do you mean a bit more specific?" I said, "You're telling me all of these wonderful things, and yes, you're absolutely spot on." I said, "But if my brother's telling you every single thing like this and giving you the grave detail that he's giving, he will give you his name."
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I'm quite hard. Like, that's my hard line. You give me all these grave details in things, and you're telling me that this is what they're saying, this is what they're doing. Why aren't they giving you his name? They've given you Manchester United.
Is that quite an important thing?
My name's Simon.
Yeah. So if so is that an important thing for you? So if a medium tried to read you and pick up with you, and they got your brother's name, for you that's the detail. That's the devil in the detail that matters the most.
That is
because that says to you, if they don't know me, how the hell do they know that?
Yeah. So
or something very personal to you.
Yeah. And when I said that to her, she got a bit sheepish, and she was like, "Well, but there's some things I've said are correct, yes." And I was like, "Yeah, there's some things you said that are correct, and I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is, if they're giving you all these grave details, they've given you the football team that he used to support, why can't he give you his name?" Now, I'm not saying that she wasn't speaking to him. I'm just saying please try and give me a little bit of something concrete. The one thing she did do, and it's something that really helped me a lot. There's three things that I've always wanted. And the one thing was, he's got a birthday card, and it was the last birthday card that he sent me. And I've still got it to this day. It's in my little memory box of his. And she went, "I see ya, and I'm seeing you opening a card." And she went like that. And I was like, that gobsmacked me, because even that little tiny bit of detail meant something to me. And that made me go, "Ooh, okay, that's a bit weird." And she went, and in that card, there's a little joke, and it's a joke between you and your brother. And there is, and that's what sort of got me.
Oh, that's sweet. That is detail, isn't it? That's detail. Yeah. So, having life on a TikTok, because there's a lot of your TikToks are really interesting, but it's not so much about the tarot side. It's more about different. I mean, some of them are so fun. I was watching some of them. I was laughing at some of the tattoos and things, because I think you've got one of those personalities that you can draw to. It's magnetic. So when you laugh, I laugh because I find it funny as well. When you're doing a live? How do you deal with the amount of? Have you been banned live or anything like that before? Doing a live reading or things like that?
I've never been banned doing a live reading ever.
Yeah.
I don't think. Stacey will probably correct me now, but I don't feel like I've been in the middle of a reading whilst I've been banned. I've been banned a couple of times, but to be fair, my humour and the things that come out my face sometimes are very. It can sometimes come across as justified as to why. Why I've been banned. I did do a charity live last week, and we raised £250 for Harrison's Army, and I got banned off that for nothing. That was for nothing. So that really annoyed me. But no, there are things that I do say. There's things that do fall out my face that do warrant actually. You need a bit of a break from this now, Bab. So
how do you deal with the trolls? I'll give you an example. There's a lady on here called Lauren, and she does. Have you seen her? She does bone readings. She has a bowl of bones, and she throws the bones, and she reads the bones and the trinkets and things, which is fascinating to watch.
Amazing.
She came alive, and I was just watching because I tried to get her to do this, but she's not ready for it. She did in the future. That's cool. Somebody went in, a Christian group on TikTok went into her TikTok, and they got every one of her TikToks taken off, every single one. I mean, why would people do that? There's no need for that. If you don't believe what we believe in, why should they be like that? What's your feelings on these people who are going around doing this at the minute? Because a lot of pages have been banned. A lot of people who are doing readings have been getting banned at the minute live because of these people going around. I mean, I have no problem with their beliefs, their religion, anything like that at all. That's what they want to be. That's cool. But why should they do that? How do you feel about it?
I think the one thing that we're doing on here is very personal. And we're doing it in a public sort of way. Reading somebody, it's very, very public. People come into the live, they'll stay. The people that want to be there, they will stay there. Some people don't. Some people will go on, and that's absolutely fine. I don't get many trolls in my live. I've had a couple, but not many. And I ignore them. If they're mean, I ignore them or I block them straight away. So there's going to be no sort of. That's not going to affect me. If I do get banned for 24 hours, do I really care? Not really. It doesn't really bother me. It's something that I really couldn't care less about if I'm banned for 24 hours. But I do feel like some people do take it to heart, and I think that's something that they shouldn't take it to heart. Maybe it's just the universe saying, take a break, have 5 minutes off. You know what I mean? You do this for 2 or 3 days on the bounce. Maybe you need to have a bit of a break now. I do think, though, that like everyone does something a bit unique, and we're always going to be questioned for the belief that we have. This person that does the bone readings, I absolutely love watching them. I think they're absolutely amazing at what they do. I would not be able to do that because that is just something that they've got that's so unique. Because that's so unique, and they're doing it on this platform, they're going to be targeted, unfortunately. And that's the sad fact of it.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that because there's a lot of card readers on there. There's a lot of people doing all their own thing, but she's so unique in what she does. I mean, she got hit really hard, which is really sad for her because she was living. I can understand that. So, what's the future hold for you in tarot? Do you think, Drew? Where do you see it going for you in the future? What do you think you're going to do, or just carry on doing what you're doing, or is there any plans for you?
I think, look, I love my job. I absolutely love what I do for a living. I mean, it's my bread and butter. Tarot is just an additional sort of thing that I do, and I really enjoy doing it. So absolutely for me, I'll probably continue doing what I'm doing. I don't think it's going to go any further. I have read for some people on here. I have been invited onto this morning, for instance. I did Alison Hammond's reading, and she was shocked at that, so she invited me on this morning. I've done Aaron Renfrey's reading, so there's a few people I've read for that are quite high profile on TikTok. But I don't think it's something that would I do it full time. Probably not. I do really enjoy the job that I've got.
Because I suppose you like to have that balance between the both. So you can, I get that. I understand it. So, Aaron, Drew, it's that time to do your top 10 of do's and don'ts believe. So, you ready for this? This is always a good one. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. So,
I'll probably disbelieve all 10.
There's one I know you're going to go. Because everybody goes to me, then man, nobody ever believes in that. I'm the only one who believes in it. So there we go. Right, okay, so number one on the list of do's and don'ts believe. Aliens. Do you believe or don't you believe?
I don't believe in aliens.
Why not? Why not?
Why am I going to believe in something that's little and green, flying around in a UFO? That's the way that I've been taught for many, many years. Like, for me, is the bacteria on Mars purely, there's going to be, is that an alien? No, it's been a bacteria.
Okay, so do you let me try and push you a bit on this. So do you think we're the only thing in the universe that exists?
No, but I wouldn't class them as aliens.
What would you class them as then?
I don't know. Some freak on another planet.
Okay. That's going to be one of my top 10. Do you believe in freaks on other planets? Ley lines. Do you believe in ley lines? Supernatural ley lines that go through the earth?
No.
No. Why do you think that is?
Why would there be lines going through the earth?
Well, because they're meant to have they're meant to be connected to buildings and things like that. So like the pyramids, Stonehenge, are all meant to be on ley lines, which are meant to be supercharged with energy from the earth.
Nah, not what a load of rubbish. Absolutely not. Someone's travelled from London, well, wherever Stonehenge is, to Egypt and gone, right, let's draw a line down here. This is going to connect. Absolutely not. That's okay. That's coincidence.
Time travel.
Time travel, no.
You thought about it for a second.
I don't believe in time travel. I believe that Doctor Who is a very good program, but I don't believe he can. No, I don't believe in time travel. No.
So do you
wish
watch
that
Doctor
we
Who?
could time travel, but I don't think we can.
Yeah, I know. Do you watch Doctor Who?
I love Doctor Who.
Who was your favourite Doctor? I'll give you mine. You give me. I'm probably older than you, so who's your favourite Doctor?
You're going to say something like Matt. No, I was going to say Matt. What's his name then? No, David Tennant was mine.
Oh, David Tennant. See, David Tennant was my future one. When I was a kid, it was Tom Baker for me. Tom Baker was my favourite Doctor, but David Tennant probably for me in the new series is definitely the best Doctor.
Brilliant. And I loved Catherine Tate as the assistant.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah, I love Doctor Who.
Banging, they were.
They were really good. Yeah, it was a good series and really emotional as well. I thought Matt Smith did a good job as well. We could talk Doctor Who for another hour, but the demonic possession.
Ooh. Demonic. See, now I've been to see a lady that does reconfiguration work, right?
Right.
And she sat there at the front of the congregation, like some sort of, I don't know what she was, just sat there like this with a red light facing a face, like on her face. And then she went, "Oh, I've been overtaken by some sort of demon." I was like, "Oh, what a crock of shit this is." I got up and walked out. They told me you can't get up and walk out because they're going to bleed to death. I went, "Well, let her bleed to death," and I pissed off.
That'd be a no then, yeah? I thought you were going to go for a yes then. I thought it was going to be a story.
I do think we can, but I don't feel like it's as common as people make out.
Do you think there's good and evil in this world?
I do think there's good and evil in the world, but I think that's on a human level, not on a higher plane level.
Okay. So Atlantis. Do you believe in Atlantis?
That's the no, I don't.
So Stephen, how about, do you believe in voodoo?
Oh yes, I like a bit of voodoo.
You do? Tell me what you do.
Because I think that if someone's being a bastard to me, make me tell you, I'm going to get a lock of their hand, shove it in the back of a voodoo doll and stick pins in the back. Too right, so not going to... Mate, that's what happens.
So do you believe in curses and hexes and things like that?
Things like that. I do believe in stuff like that. I do believe that people can be cursed, and I do believe that like, back in the day, when the witch doctors and stuff. Yeah, I do believe in all of that. Absolutely.
So
We
you've got a yes on
I
that.
think
That's a good.
there's a lot of stuff that sort of happened over the years that would mean it's got to be true, I think.
Right, good. No, I'm good with that. Do you believe in angels?
I believe there's an angel on my Christmas tree.
I've never had that answer before.
I don't believe we turn into angels and grow wings and we've got a halo around the top of our head. No, I don't.
Okay, so if I said to you, a spiritualist medium said to me, I don't believe in angels, but I believe there's higher beings. Would that be more?
Yeah.
Would you believe in that more?
Yeah. I do believe that there's an afterlife, and I do believe that we go somewhere else. But I don't believe it's heaven. I don't believe it's only 3 foot above us, because that's what a lot of people say. I don't believe that we grow our wings. Yeah, that's what. It actually says it in this book as well. Actually, right. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that we grow wings. I don't believe that feathers fall. Like, do you know when people get feathers?
Yeah.
I think they've probably got a feather pillar in the bedroom, and one's just come out of it. And
so do you so just leading before we go on to so I've got angels, higher beings. You believe in higher beings, yeah? So what's your take? So if somebody passes away, what do you think happens? What's your belief?
I'd like to believe that they go on to a different sort of plane and sort of still helping us, and they're still with us.
Like another journey. That's what I believe. They go on to a new journey.
Yeah, like a new journey for them. I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't believe that they come back to life. Because I think that's just a bit too far-fetched for me, and I have to be quite real and grounded in my sort of beliefs.
Of course, yeah.
And I do believe that I think they live on. I think we're too powerful as human beings to just be this. We can't just die and it be darkness. There's got to be something. Yeah. And because we're in energy, that energy has to go somewhere. Now, it might be you're not going to go into my light bulb. I know that for a fact. It's going to go somewhere else. So, I do believe you do live on as an energy elsewhere. But I don't believe I don't believe that you're a physical person. But
so if I said to you, somebody else on, everybody's got their entitled to their own opinions and beliefs, as they know. I don't judge anybody on what they believe. It's what they feel. So if I said to you, somebody believes that reincarnation, and there's different, and you might notice there's different levels of reincarnation. So somebody said, if you're a paedophile and you die and you go to heaven, you'll come back as a paedophile until you've learned your lesson that you can't do that. Do you not believe in that at all? Or murderers and things? There's different levels. Have you heard that before? Different levels.
Yeah. And people that have died by suicide, them like an orange, and segments of them come down until they've been taught the proper ways to live. There's a lot of stuff like that. Absolutely not. I think that what we do as humans, we know what's right and wrong in society. What these people that are nasty, these people that are evil, I think for me they should just be hung, drawn, and quartered anyway. But like when they die, I don't believe they go to hell. It would be nice for them to go to hell, but I do feel like their energy does go elsewhere, and I feel like it does go into the.
So unlike you, I believe that once you pass, you go on to another journey. I also believe that if a child passes, that in the next part they still grow. They grow as in their journey. If you're like 90 or 100 years old, you've come to the end of your natural life. But my belief is that if you're a child or so, you go on to the next plane, you grow in another journey. You start to grow into that journey. Anyway, so do you believe in Wicca as a religion and witches?
Wiccan, yes, I do believe in Wicca. Yeah. There's a lovely lady on here, and I think she'd be an amazing person for you to interview, Lisa.
Oh, I'd love to. What's her name?
Lisa Sarconi, her name is. Absolutely brilliant. And, she... so, do you know the pendulums? I've got a couple. Yeah. They do not work for me at all. At all in the slightest. They literally just stay still. Yeah. They don't even move.
What do you think
that is? A couple of times. Pardon?
What do you think that is, Drew?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't move for me. It's got the natural movement, and the one thing that I've always been told is that when you when you've always got that natural movement on the pendulum,
Yeah,
and it has to be
yeah,
an abnormal movement. So it's either from the
yeah,
middle up, middle left, like that.
yeah, yeah,
And Amy is another one that does the pendulum. Is fantastic. She's in it now.
yeah,
But they helped me. But then when they stopped when they were like, "Yep, you've got it now. You can use it." Nah,
yeah.
it stopped,
What
completely
happened?
stopped dead. So I don't use it because it doesn't
Yeah,
work for me. And I think that's the thing, and I think that makes us unique as readers and as sort of people that
yeah,
do this type of thing, is that actually
yeah,
we are all so unique in what we do. We're all so
yeah.
unique in our field. And if we was all the same, it'd be pissing boring.
This is very true. But so do you have a religion, or do you not like? Do you associate with anything at all, or you like Jedi or Wicca, or do you associate with anything Hoovian? I don't know.
I don't associate with
Yeah,
any sort of organised religion at all.
yeah,
That's just
just you.
that doesn't mean that I don't believe in anything. That just means that
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
associate myself with Catholicism, Christianity,
Yeah,
Islam, spiritualism. You know what I mean? I don't associate to one specific sort of religion,
yeah,
because I feel
yeah,
like we can be. I think we can be too controlled by religion.
yeah,
And for me,
yeah.
I don't get into the topic of religion, but for me, I'm my own person and I am my own religion and I've got my own beliefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, Joe, I totally understand it. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
That's
so
where.
you've not been so bad so far. We've got three yeses out of the 10, so we've got two more left to go. And I know there's maybe one you're going to say definite no to, but do you believe in star seeds?
No,
Oh God!
not really.
So do you believe that we're with the star seeds, indigo children, that sort of thing? What do you?
No,
Is that a no?
no,
No, no. Well,
no.
why is that?
I'm my mum's
Why do
child. You know what I mean?
you?
My mum and dad did the deed to get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
It
you don't
wasn't
think we're
sort
high
of.
beings that have come down?
No. I
No.
don't feel. No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Like,
So the last one. This is always the biggest one I ask, yeah, because I believe in this. Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Do you believe in Bigfoot or Sasquatch?
do I believe that there's a massive monster walking around? No, I don't.
Oh, what? I thought you were about to say yes. Then I was like, yeah, he's on board. This is it. You don't think
No.
there's any chance of it? I mean, I know my hair needs a haircut, but if you saw me in the wood, you think, Christ, that's a Bigfoot. Do you not think there's? I feel quite embarrassed because you used to be working at, you used to have your own shop, and there's me
Yeah.
with this great big curtain of rubbish on my head.
Well,
So
I thought
you
to
don't think?
myself, I was going to curl my hair today and just be a bit like you. It didn't work out. So there was
I'm gonna sell this, rake it, and sell it. So you
I
don't
said
believe
to
in
you earlier,
Bigfoot?
that's not a bad idea, you know, because that energy, it runs all the way through you with Reiki, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
actually, your
yeah,
hair
it
will
does.
hold some of your energy. You should do it. You
The
should do
psychic
it.
hair. Yeah.
The psychic hair.
So Bigfoot's a definite no. You don't think there's any way that something could exist? They're finding new species all the time, though.
Do I think no?
At
No.
all?
At
No.
all. At all.
Is that one
Do I think?
Bigfoot too far?
I'm surprised there's not a question in there saying, "Do you believe in the Loch Ness monster?"
Well, I did that, but I've done that before. That'd be a no as well, would it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Out of your top 10 of I do and don't believe one, there's 7 no's and 3 yeses. So I think we did quite well there because
See,
you
I'm
said there
not
wasn't going to be.
I'm not
No.
overly disbelieving.
So voodoo you believe in, higher beings you believe in, not angels but higher beings, and Wicca and witches you definitely believe in.
Yeah.
Do you now when you Wicca and witches, do you believe in the way of life, or what they actually do, like working Mother Nature and that sort of moon cycles and everything?
I just think with Wiccans and what have you, I do just think to myself, let them be, because I do feel like they are such nice people and they want to help other people. You know what I mean? All these potions and stuff that they want to sort of create for people are around helping people's therapy. And I think, let people believe that. And as much as there's things that they do that I don't believe, you know what I mean? But there's things that they do, like tarot, for instance, that is very much based around that sort of belief. You know what I mean? So absolutely, there is part of it that I do 100% believe.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic. And I think, obviously, it's been lovely to have you on. Do you mind if people can ask you some questions from my side? Is that okay?
Please do. Please do.
Obviously, this is Drew's point of view. So here we go. This will be good. So have you got any questions for Drew? This is not a reading, just questions, please. And let's see what Drew has to say.
That's the it's almost like
you're a lovely person. You really are. I like your opinion. I mean, it's good to do these things because everybody's been different, and it's good for people's perspective on their spiritual journey. So yeah, it's really good. So just while we're answering questions, when you had Paige come on, was that to help her development? Do you think, or do you think that was to see how she worked?
Say that again.
Oh, so, there's a question I asked. Do you prefer tarot or oracle cards?
Face-to-face tarot, 100%. And you've got no better. On TikTok Live, it has to be oracle because it gives you that bit more guidance. Yeah.
So on the oracle cards, do you read the picture or do you read the words that come with it, or do you look at the picture?
Usually it depends. So I've got ones that have just got words on, and then I've got ones that have got a picture. So it depends on what deck I'm using. These ones, my old faithfuls, the picture always. Things like, if I show you, see, these ones are gorgeous. These ones are the Woven Wisdom. These ones are absolutely beautiful cards.
They're lovely, aren't they? Yeah.
They're amazing.
A lot of detail.
But I read the pictures on them because the meanings mean absolutely nothing to me. So
when you got your oracle decks, did you read the book at all, or did you just go straight to reading the pictures on your oracle decks?
No, I read the book. I feel like you have to read the book. There's times when the book means nothing, and you've probably found this as well. There's times when you look at a card and you think that meaning to that card does not resonate with me. That card means something different to me. And I think that's something that everyone needs to understand, that what we do, it's about our meaning to the cards. We need to put our own meaning and our stamp on that card. That's what I
like you said. It's 5%. It's 5% card and 95% intuition. So somebody said Drew's got a fantastic sense of humour. They're feeding the love to you tonight, Drew. Let's have a look. So do you go more by intuition or more by feelings?
I think intuition. I think feelings is, if I was to feel something towards somebody, I could then have either a negative feeling or a positive feeling. I feel like you have to use your intuition. You have to sort of go into it retrospectively, really. So you have to use your intuition, definitely.
So you don't. If somebody's quite emotional, do you pick up on emotion, or do you just the intuition?
If I'm face to face with somebody, I think, and this is, I said this earlier, I think everyone can pick up if someone's upset. That's not intuition. That's just us being human. But it's about when we delve deeper into that as to why they're feeling upset, and then just pulling out things and it's sort of like drawing from that higher being and then putting that onto them and saying, like, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, these are the sort of things I'm getting for you, and then allowing it to sort of the reading to manifest from there.
So somebody wants to ask, you've got three choices: psychic, or medium, or psychic medium. What would you, or something completely different? Is a psychic or medium, or psychic medium together?
Well, I'm quite insulted because I'm a large. I'm not a medium. No, I think psychic medium. Psychic medium. But for me, I think I'm happy with what I do, and I think psychic ability is the thing that I use more than medium. I don't use mediumship because that's a completely different ball game to what I want to do. And do I believe that people can be taught to be a psychic and to be a medium and a clairvoyant? I think we can open people up to it, But I think on a teaching level, no, I don't. I feel
Yeah,
like everyone's.
so,
Oh, go on. Sorry.
no. Do you think people were born with it? Do you think people were born with that gift to do it, or do you think they can be opened up to do it?
I feel like people can be opened up to do it. Like
Right.
something has to
Okay.
happen to go. You know what? What am I feeling? What am I sensing? You know, like
Yeah.
Stacey, that's in my life this moment in time. She called me the other day and she said, "I've got this picture, and I can't get it out of my head. It's a bald man who looks really ill. He's quite thin. He's really gaunt. There's a lamp in the
Yeah.
background, and I just can't get it out of my head." Well, my dad
Yeah.
died at the beginning of February, and I showed her a picture of
Okay.
him, and she was like, "That's the man. That's the man I was seeing." And then there's a
Wow.
joke about a lamp, so it was quite significant actually as to what she said.
Yeah.
And I said to her, like, she's never been taught, she's never been trained. And I said to her,
Yeah.
if you're feeling the sense in these now, they're only going to grow. Now, you can't turn that
Yeah.
on and off. That's something that's
No.
always going to be there. You need to learn to
Yeah.
control it. That's what needs to
Yeah.
happen. Like for me, I can walk down the street and someone can be walking past me and I can feel that they're upset that something's happened in their life and I need to go and speak to them and bring them into some sort of, and like ground them down, move them forward and give them a real positive sort of message.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. And the reason why I'm not going to do that, because I'll be a weirdo tapping someone's shoulder down the street, you know what I mean? So I said to expect control in that.
So you can walk into a room and pick up people's feelings, senses, emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm sorry to hear about your dad as well. Deepest sympathies on that. That must be
No,
really hard.
thank you. It's one of those. It happens. COVID's a bastard, and
yeah, totally agree with you. So I've got a Claire. She said, "Tell him hello, Bab. He knows I know. He knows I know me. Hello, Bab. Claire. Co 38. Right, there we go. Okay.
Yes, if Bab is my sort of way, that's how I speak. You're right, Bab.
Somebody's got a question here. Do you believe in spirit? Do you believe spirits can enter your dreams?
I do, but I don't think the thing is the brain is very powerful. So if you're thinking of your loved one before you go to sleep, more than likely you're going to be dreaming about that loved one that you've been thinking about before you've got to go to sleep. As much as that will give people comfort and hope, I'm not going to turn around and say that I disbelieve that, because if people are seeing that, that's their hope, and I don't want to sort of squash that. So if I could sort of say,
but if they're not thinking about them, if they're not thinking about them, do you think it can happen?
It's one of them. It's a difficult one, because I've had dreams about my brother, for instance, and some of them have not been very nice. And like, if I was to take that as whatever's going to happen, he was showing me something bad, and I do think to myself, is that my subconscious? You know what I mean? It's a difficult one. It's really difficult because the brain will play tricks on you. The one thing I always say to people is, you don't need us as spiritual people or psychic people to even sort of tell you about your family members, because you've already created those memories. You don't need me to tell you that your family members are okay. You don't need me to tell you that your family member's still around you, because you're the one that's created those memories. Who would give me the right to doing that? The memories I've got with my brother, I can play them like a DVD in my head over and over again. I don't need anyone to tell me about the memories I've created, because I've already got them. I don't need someone to say to me, they're always here with me, because they are always with me. And that's just where that's my sort of hard line on that. Sorry, that's
fine. I understand. It's your, like I said, it's about what you feel. Somebody's asked, do you sense negative energy?
I do sense negative energy. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What do I do with that energy? I'll tell him to fucking smile. So stick a smile on it. Stop being so miserable.
Let's have a look. Just reading through some of the comments. It reads that somebody said, okay, another perspective on dreams again. Do you think psychic visions can enter dreams?
from the way I see it is so. A lot of people see me like I'm like this all the time. I'm not sure if you've ever seen me read. I'm like literally laughing, joking all of the time. Now, when I go into what people call the zone, is very much where I go into sort of a dream-like state, and I'll just be talking. And I can't get like I don't usually let people get a word in edgeways, and then I'll say to them, "Does that make any sense?" It's very like when I'm reading, it's very serious. Yeah, there's some times we'll have a bit of a laugh with it, but there's times when it's very serious. But I'm very much in that zone. So I think when we reading people, we go into that zone all of the time. I really do that sort of dream zone. We're in that sort of meditative state almost. We can't control. Well, we can control what we're saying, but we can't control how we're feeling. We can't control what someone's giving to us, and that sort of shocks you in a way. That sort of when you're saying things and people go, "Yeah, you're absolutely spot on." You're like that. Whoa, okay, okay, we got that right. Let's move past that now.
So, taking all that, Drew, you've obviously sounds like you've been you were a very skeptical person, weren't you? But as years have gone on, things have changed your mind on different aspects of the paranormal and the universe we live in, but not all of them. You still have your skeptical side to you, to make it to balance that rationale.
I have to balance it. So, like, I'm not. There's things to do with spiritualism that don't work for me. I'm not going to say I don't believe, they just don't work for me. Like crystals and stuff don't work for me. Meditation, my brain's always on the go. Like I cannot sit down listening to crap music, going on. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen for me. That's not going to help me at all. One thing that really sort of grates on my nerves is when people say, "I've got to clear my head. Let me clear my head." Why do we have to do that for? Let's not clear our head. Let's just get into that zone where we know we can give a genuine, positive reading. You know what I mean? So that's my sort of thought process on it. And there is things that I'm skeptical about, especially around the religious side of things, because I think that's sort of then organised, and then I think that's just more about a money-making exercise. For me, there is still skepticism there, but for what I believe and what I believe in, it's very much real.
Okay. So somebody's asked, how do you ground yourself? Do you ground yourself? Or is your process just very organic? Here we go, let's go for
it. So before I come on live, I feel like a bit of a dick, to be fair, when I'm sitting here and I'm giving myself the protection and the energy that I'm sort of calling from. I don't do any sort of prayers to Archangel Michael or anything like that, because that's something that I don't like. As I've said, I don't believe in angels and stuff like that, so that's something that I won't necessarily call from. But when I'm sitting here, I do protect myself. I do sort of, because I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know what's going to come through. If something negative does come through, I want to make sure, yes, I am protected. I don't want to pick up my cards and think, right, I'm going to have someone sort of overtake my body tonight and I'm going to go around on a mass murdering mission. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. I do. Although the skepticism there is definitely things that I do sort of keep myself very much grounded within my role as a reader.
Somebody's put, do you believe in orbs?
I do believe in orbs.
Yeah, I believe as well. Because there was one night I was doing a live here, and it was all dark in the background, and no word of a lie, a big orb went across my head like that, straight across my head like that. And everybody's going, orb. I was like, what are you looking at? I didn't see it until I rewatched the live. So you believe in orbs, yeah?
Yeah, I believe in anything paranormal. I love the paranormal. Absolutely love it. The thing is with me and the paranormal, when it comes to orbs and stuff like that, it has to be a specific sort of thing. So an orb, circular, going across the screen is usually just going to be a speck of dust. If it's like a little bit blue in colour, a bit smoky, and it's doing some abnormal movement, then that's an orb, definitely. Yeah.
Right. Somebody just asked, do you believe in karma?
I believe that we are our own. We create our own karma. Yeah. So I think if something's going to happen, if I've done something negative, then there's always going to be a negative response. I don't think that's from any sort of I don't think that's sort of from any spiritualism or anything like that. I think that's just, yeah.
Okay. Somebody's asked, in your opinion, how long after someone's passed can you do mediumship? So do you think that how long after somebody's passed somebody should go and see a medium? I think that means. Is there a time scale?
A lot of people say down there that there's that sort of teaching and healing process when someone passes over.
They have to go through the phases of understanding they passed over. Yeah.
So for me, I would like to say that when my brother passed over to the spirit world, or my dad, or whoever, they went through some sort of purity and healing to get to whatever.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know, and I think nobody knows, and that's the difficulty. And we're all going to find out one day, I'm sure, but no one knows, and that's my honest opinion, that I don't know the answer to that question. My dad only died in February, and he showed Stacey that picture.
Yeah, that's great. That's really
So actually, things happened. Like when my brother died, my mom had a vision of my brother sitting on the end of a bed 2 days after.
Do you know what the amount of people I've heard say that they appear at the end of the bed? It's giving me goosebumps. Because somebody said that the other day on live, that somebody appeared and they're sitting on the end of the bed. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, my mom didn't even go to bed. She wasn't asleep. She'd literally just gone to bed. And my mom reads a lot, so she was reading a book in bed. She put a book down, rubbed her eyes, went to the toilet, got back in bed, and there he was sitting on the end of the bed.
Did that give your mum some comfort? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, my mum's she's really religious. She's massively into Christianity, into spiritualism. Now she's into spiritualism. And it did give her a lot of comfort, a lot of healing. And that was her sort of therapy to then process whatever happened. And for me, I went to the tarot side of things because the people standing on that podium weren't helping me. It went sort of deeper for me. It went to a different level. I needed more therapeutic input, and the only way I could get that was through my tarot cards. And that's what I like to give people on here, is that sort of deep and meaningful type of reading that's going to help them in the long run. A lot of people ask me on the live, can you speak to my nan? Can you speak to my granddad? Can you speak to my nan and my dad, whatever? And I'm like, no, because I'm not about that. That's not what I'm about. A lot of people are, and that's absolutely fine. If that's where people want to get that comfort, I can signpost you to a medium or a clairvoyant that's going to do that, but I'm not going to do that in my life.
So that leads me nice onto a question for you, because as you know, in TikTok world, people are always looking for a card. Can I have a card? Can you have an answer? Do you think people can do too much of that? As in they jump from each other's lives and go, can you give me a card? Can you give me a reading? What's your opinion on readings? If somebody has a full reading with you, Drew, how long should they leave it to have another reading, do you think?
A lot of people want more. So I can give somebody a reading now, and that could be, I'm absolutely spot on, you're absolutely fantastic, thank you so much. And the next day, you're on live giving your readings, they'll be on yours, because I'm always after that little bit more. And that's absolutely fine. You know what I mean? That's their choice. I don't think there's any sort of time frame between it. I like to say, for me, if I give somebody quite a negative reading, not a negative one, but one that I feel like I need to go back to, I'll say to them, come back in 3 months' time and we'll do your reading again, and hopefully we can start seeing movement. Usually I'll say 6 months. I like to give it 6 months. But a lot of people that I read for, they do want reading after reading after reading. And when I'm not giving them that, that's when then they go from me to somebody else.
Do you think that's a healthy thought? Do you know people just coming for 1 card readings or 3 card readings on the line? Do you think that's healthy for them to do that? Or do you think it gives them a mixed message?
If someone asks me for 1 card, I'm like, that, you're not having 1 card. You know what I mean? And I will give them... Well, I get quite a lot of cards out. It's not just about getting 3 cards out for me. I want to give them the fullest reading I can give them in the time slot that I give, which could be 10
Yeah.
minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour. I've read for someone for such a long time on here because there was a
Online,
lot
yeah.
coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm not just going to, for me, I'm not just going to cut a reading dead when I've still got more to give.
Yeah. I completely understand that. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second, just seeing.
That's fine.
But like, I've completely forgot what the question was. Sorry.
That's right. We're just talking about people having how you do your live reading. Some people have an hour, some have 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if someone comes into my live and asks for one card, I'm like, no, we'll sort of, I'll open it up a bit further. If someone starts begging me and constantly spamming my chat with like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, mate, you're gone, and I'll block them because they're doing me heading, and that's just the way I work, and they won't be unblocked.
Yeah.
But like I say, they can go on to someone. If they want to go on to somebody else, that's up to them. I would probably encourage them not to, because I think we can be like, I've done it before. You know, we can search for too much.
Yeah.
And then you get like that. That's when you get the sort of people saying, oh, I've had a better reading from this person than you because they gave me this and that and the other, and it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
And I do think that's where a lot of people on TikTok, it sort of spurs that sort of negativity and dramatic sort of responses, because you do get people, and you are going to get people that are going to play people off against each other, and that's happened quite a lot. That's happened to me a lot, and I don't like that.
No.
So I do think to myself, that's up to the people that are doing that, really.
Somebody's asked a question, and it's the last couple of questions. Somebody's asked, why do you believe some family spirit members really come through, yet others don't? What's your belief on that? Some come through and some don't. Why do you think that is?
See, now, a lot of readers and a lot of spiritualist mediums and clairvoyants, these are like the ones that I would call, they've got the abilities, but they've not got the great abilities. They will always go for someone that's older, so they go for grandparents, great-grandparents. They'll always go for the older generation. They'll also assess you as a person, so they'll see that you're in your 40s or 50s, and they will know that you've definitely lost your nan and granddad, unless they want to be living till they're 130, and potentially your mum and dad. I do think a lot of people, it's just like clutching at straws. But you do get a lot of people like Sandria that does mine. She picked up on my brother straight away. And another lady, what was her name? Lorraine Butler. She was another one that gave me a fantastic reading. Philip Solomon gave me a fantastic reading. I went to see Colin Fry, God bless his soul. I went to see him. He gave me a fantastic reading. People like Sally Morgan, for instance, a lot of people have opinions on her, but when I saw her in the corridor of the sort of auditorium of the theatre, she was absolutely fantastic, and she was speaking to everybody.
Yeah, just on psychics, what was your? Because I've met Derek Akora at Alton Tower, and he was a genuinely lovely guy. What do you think Derek Akora got too caught up in the fame over what he knew best, or what was your opinion of his psychic ability and his clairvoyance and things like that? What was your opinion of him?
I think a lot of these celebrity psychics, they believe their own hype, and when you start believing your own hype, you sort of turn into a bit of a bellend, and I think that's what he did in a way. I feel like he just turned into someone that believed too much of his own hype, and I do feel like you have to be humbled with it. You can't just give somebody a reason and then go, you're like, I'm giving you this because I'm psychic. If someone turns around to you and says to you, no, I can't take that, we need to go, okay, then this isn't for you. I'm not going to make it fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
do you think most haunted? Do you think most haunted ruined his career?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I think that. I think he ruined his own career. In what he was doing, and I feel like there was a lot of things were going on, and I think he got quite a lot of bad press from how he was acting. When he said, when he went on doing like Mary Loves Dick and stuff like that on Most Haunted, mate, I cried with laughter. I was thinking, my God, this guy's a comic genius.
Yeah, and obviously Kieran O'Keefe caught him out, didn't he? With which I said about not ruining his career, but yeah, this is a real shame. God bless his soul as well. So Drew, there's no more questions. So this has been my Drew's spiritual journey. I'm going to put in comments of it so far. Thank you so much, Drew, for coming on. It's been a real pleasure. Please all follow Drew. I'm sure he he's got enough followers as it is, but you like some more. Who doesn't? And who doesn't? And Drew, it's your opportunity to tell the people what you want to say, or if you're doing anything soon, anything you've got coming up, any charity work or any readings or anything like that, or where people can contact you. It's your time to give it large and tell them what you want to say.
Give it large. Wow. I'll tell you the truth, right, guys. I believe my own hype. No, I'm only joking. I'm like Marmite. I'm one of them. You love me or you hate me. That's how I read. And some people like it, some people don't. That's the way I am. But you're always going to have a laugh in the life. You know what I mean? You're always going to have a laugh. It's not all about readings. It's about let's have a laugh. Let's put the world to rights a little bit as well. So on my lives, you will get readings. You'll have a bit of a laugh. It's one of them, and I think that's what people enjoy. That's what people enjoy about me, is the fact that I am real, and I'm not going to beat about the bush when I say things.
And are you doing private readings, Drew, as well? Do you take private bookings, or is that on hold?
At this moment in time, I'm not doing them just yet. I was going to do them back in February, but obviously a lot has happened. There's still a lot happening at this moment in time that I wouldn't be happy to give private readings at this moment in time. I used to be on here every single night between 9 and 12. I've not been on for the last 7 days. This is the first time I've been on in 7 days. Tonight I'm going to be doing some readings tonight when we come off here. I'm going to go and have replenish my energy and stuff, and have a bit of a drink of water and get myself ready. But yeah, I do it quite a lot, but I really enjoy it. And any gifts that I get go to charity. I do a lot for Clapper. I've done a lot for diabetes. I've done a lot for Tan, whose son's got cancer. You know what I mean? And we do raise quite a lot of money.
Fantastic.
So
that's great.
So every reading that I give is free as well. I don't charge for readings. Even face-to-face readings, I do them for free. I don't want any money for them, because it's about helping other people, and that's what it's like. I will say to people, if you want to make a donation to Clapper, go directly to their website, donate to them or to wherever, or whatever charity I'm supporting at that time.
Can you just explain quickly what Clapper is?
Clapper is a cleft palate charity. So my mom's got a hair lip, and she had a cleft palate when she was born. That's a charity very close to my heart. A lot of countries where their governments rolling in the cash, but they're not giving anything else to any other people. You see a lot of people on TV. They've got hair lips. They've got double hair lips. They've got the cleft palate. And it's just a crying shame, absolute crying shame to see. And I do feel like they benefit from the money that's given. And it's actually run by UNICEF as well. So
I saw that. And do you have a Facebook page at all, Drew? Anything like that for your readings, or do you have a Facebook or Instagram?
No, I've got Instagram, but it's not around readings. I'm doing the marathon, the London Marathon, the virtual one. So that's well. So that's all in my Instagram at the moment. So that's my focus on there. You've probably noticed on my videos and stuff, I don't usually do you know when this might be for you, I don't do anything like that, because I keep that solely for my lives. I said, this is a hobby to me. It's not something that I do to build a living or make a living from or earn cash from it. That's not my intentions at all in this.
So guys, this has been Drew's My Spiritual Journey so far. He does a lot of charity work. He's generally a lovely person, as you can tell. He's got goodness flowing through him like a river. Please give him a follow. Please help him raise some money for his marathon. Please go onto his lives and see how he works. Go and look at his TikToks, because they are funny, because I laugh at them. I'm thinking for everything. But I laughed. I looked at. You've had lots of hair colours, Drew, as well. I noticed that. Lots of hair colour.
I went ginger once for some reason.
So, Drew, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on my spiritual journey so far. I can't thank you enough, and I look forward to coming in your lives. I look forward to seeing you work again, and that is it. So this is it. My spiritual journey. We are out. We are done. This is Drew. Everybody,
Yes.
give him a follow.
Everyone, go and follow Matt as well, guys. Go on.
Oh, thank you, Guy. Yeah, take care, Drew. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, what a lovely guy. What a lovely, lovely guy. What a lovely guy. What a guy for doing what he's doing. Will I go live later? No, one legged pie. I think I'm going to have something to eat in a minute. Hi, Jessica. How are you doing? Are you going to come on one day, Jessica, to my spiritual journey? Going to get you on one day. So this week, guys, we got that was Drew. Lovely, what a fantastic guy. Very different beliefs and what he does. Charity work, fantastic. Like I said, we always respect everybody's beliefs in what we do on these spiritual journeys. Tomorrow he's got Tia on. Tia's on tomorrow, talking about tarot, candle making, all the things she does, her spiritual journey as well. Okay, Jessica, I'm going to keep you to that. So we've got Tia tomorrow, and on Thursday we've got Heavenly Dragonfly Tam coming on, and her whole family have a spiritual side to them as well. So a couple this week's pretty chocker. Trixie, I'm not doing readings tonight, my love. No, I'm not. But Drew's doing readings. If you just look at Drew, if you give Drew a follow, yeah, it was really interesting, his perspective and how he works. But they're all interesting, like I said, and everybody works differently. I respect everybody's beliefs and everybody's way of it. We're not always going to agree on things. Nobody believes in Bigfoot, apart from me, I think, and a couple of Tash maybe. But yeah, Jessica, I'm definitely going to message you and sort that out. But thank you, everybody, for coming. It's been a really good one, really interesting as well. Yeah, and a lot of emotional there as well, with his brother, his dad. You know, that's a lot to go through. But he's found a way of contacting and a way of making his world better for him and making a difference for people. Oh, can you believe it? So tomorrow night, Tia's here, 8 p.m, My Spiritual Journey with Tia. Going to be a nice one. A younger person, so it's going to be an interesting scenario. Well, she started a journey because it's not to be as far on, but it's going to be there. And then Thursday night, we got Tam on, Heavenly Dragonfly. She's been doing this work for like 20 years. So it's going to be a really good one to see her as well. And then there'll be more coming the following week. Probably Jessica, if I can get her on, and somebody else, and we'll definitely work it out and get some more people on to come and... Hi, how you doing? Hi, good evening, brother. How are you doing, Steve? Love your place, my friend. It looked lovely. Yeah, and Tash, everybody, yeah. If you know anybody you'd like me to speak to, drop me a message. I'll try and convince them to come on. I'm looking for anybody different in the paranormal spiritual world. We've covered quite a lot of subjects, but it's good to get the card readers on because everybody can give you some advice if you're going into card reading, how they do it, what's new for them, how they work it. Yeah, it's really interesting. So thank you, guys. This has been easy with dates. Jessica, I'm keeping it. I'm writing your name down now. Jessica. Yeah, I'd be interested to get you on, Jessica. That'd be cool. Yeah. So that was Drew, guys. He's on later tonight. Please go see him. He might pick you for him. Maybe go and donate to his charity. He does a lot of work, and it's all good for him. So thank you all for coming. It's been a pleasure. Love and blessings to you all. Namaste. Take care. Have a lovely evening. Bye.